thank you. You go, oven.
Do you ask her how her day's been? I'm just interested when she comes in.
Definitely not.
She's had a busy
Definitely
day.
not.
She's listen. Don't jump to conclusions, Rick. All right. Okay, so she comes in.
Okay, let's act it out.
Yeah.
Okay, you've just cleaned up, right? The last bit there. You look back. Them tiles look good. You look at the clock. Oh, what time is it? She usually comes through the door.
Don't know. It can change. She calls and warns me.
Right. Let's
so-
go through. Take me through it, okay? The end of the day.
Right. Vacuuming up, cleaning up all the mess. Phone's going. Who's that? Suzanne. All right. Yeah. Coming home. All right then. See you in a bit. She'll go. I'll put the kettle on, or at least fill it, ready, because she normally calls again.
What do you mean? She calls again? What?
She calls again when she's out the tube.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. What's going on?
All right. You out the tube? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yeah. All right. See you in a minute. Flick the kettle on. Get the tea bags out. Make a cup of tea.
Milk.
Bit of milk.
Literally.
Sometimes I'll say, "I'll get us a little treat when you come out the tube."
Yeah.
So she'll get me, a bounty or something to go with a cup of tea.
Nice.
She'll
It's
come
before
in.
your tea, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's going to be another 40 odd minutes.
So you have a bounty before you have a meal?
Not every day, just sometimes. If I've got a sugar low, I've got a touch of diabetes.
No, you haven't.
I have. I feel like a bit shaky.
Oh, so
sometimes.
you just made that up. So
Yeah.
you have got no evidence whether you got diabetes.
Well, I haven't got
or not.
evidence of it, but I think I
No,
have.
so there's no evidence, but let's believe in it anyway.
Right, well, I have a bounty that normally sorts it out. To me, that's a sign of diabetes. Otherwise, what's wrong with me? So,
You're just a greedy fucker.
no, I'm telling you, I sometimes need it. I get a proper urge for a Mars bar. I've got to have
What
one
do you have a
now.
bounty for then?
No, just to mix it up because I get sick of Mars bars.
Do you? Well, when you say get me a bounty, have you got an urge for a bounty then, or a Mars bar?
Well, it's just that they're both quite equal in sugar content.
Yeah, but
Bounties, there's a lot of that.
do you
coconut.
specify then when you say get me a treat? She says, well, what?
I
Sometimes you have a Mars bar, sometimes you have a
No,
bounty.
that's enough for me. I'll go when she comes in. It's a talking topic, isn't it? What have you got me?
Topic. She sometimes gets you a topic.
It's something to chat about, isn't it?
Right.
Get
Okay.
your bounty.
Something to chat about.
So, has there ever been a time? Sorry, I just got to get this straight, Steve.
Sorry, Rick, I just wanted to say, could you imagine you and I having a conversation about what chocolate bar you ever brought me? What'd you get me, Rick?
Got your bounty. Is that all
Thanks,
right?
mate. That's as long as that conversation can possibly
Yeah,
go.
that is
You're
it.
talking about it's a talking point.
Yeah, so what happens? So what's the last time there was a discussion about what she bought you? Did she ever bring you a bounty and you go, oh, I was really hoping for a Mars bar?
I think the last time she got a bounty, I sort of said, "Oh, they do a 3-pack now." You know how they just have 2 bars? They do a 3 one.
Right, what did she say?
She said, "Do they?"
She said, I want out of this relationship.
No, but that's how a chat starts, and they'll go, "Yeah, that's why there's fatter people now. Everything's in bigger amounts, innit? It used to just be 1, like a Milky Way. Now you can get a 3-pack, and then they're saying, "Oh, there's fat people," because that's the thing. She's sort of been talking to people all day. I've been tiling, listening to the radio, hearing reports of obesity. So this is a chance for me to tell her what I've learned in a way.
Right.
So I'll empty what
I bet
I've
she
learned.
loves coming.
I'll go, she'll go, "What, are we having scampi still, or have you gone off the idea?" And then I'll go, "Oh, we should get them tablets my mum's been talking about." She goes, "What tablets?" I go, "The food." So see how it's all coming together.
Yeah.
So it's like that, and that's
What does
we
she
do.
say to the idea of now living on tablets instead of having some scampi and chips when she comes home after a hard day's work? What does
She
she
just
say
sort
to
of
that?
goes, "Oh, right."
She says, oh, right.
Yeah.
So, this important information which you're imparting that you've garnered during the day, her response to that is, oh, right.
Yeah.
So-
and then I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say there's worms with teeth.
I'll get her attention at some point. I'll say, I'm going to bring out the good big guns now.
Well, imagine-
Right, she's ignoring me. Okay, wait for this.
Look, Rick.
Suzanne, I see you're ignoring me. Yeah. Worms with teeth. Oh, God. Amazing. So what does she say to worms have teeth?
I can't remember. She just sort of said, "Oh, have you got the facts right?" I said, "Yeah." That's kind of it. And she'll either go, "All right," or she'll. I mean, it's pretty rare that it's anything more than that.
So it's not a conversation, really. It's,
No.
Because the response twice now has been, oh, right.
Right, so she's looking forward to some scampi and chips. She hands over your bounty. You go, oh, they do 3. Yeah, whatever. Right, what happens next? Take us through.
I'll sort of say, "You got anything to report? Anything gone on today?" And she knows it's. I sort of phase off again. It's like a phone call. She'll go, "Oh, so and so's leaving or whatever," and I don't know these people, and I'm not that interested.
And she senses that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she'll go, "Oh, have you paid the insurance?" And I go, "No, I forgot." She'll go, "Yeah, I told you to do that." I said, "Yeah, but I've been doing the tiling." She's going, "Yeah, but you weren't meant to do the tiling. I asked you to sort the insurance out on the washer because the washer keeps breaking." And she won't let me fix it, even though I know what it was. It was a heating element. I said, I know how to fix that. But she was going, "No, I don't want you messing with it because if you flood the kitchen out, it's makes a mess." So anyway, so I've got to sort that out. I still haven't done it. I should have done that today. Then have a game of crib.
Oh God! Oh
It's like being in an old people's home.
I know, but I'll tell you what. Put the telly on because there's some flump on there that might give you an insight.
No,
No?
not until. Like I've said to you before, unless she knows what she's putting it on for, it doesn't go on.
Right.
None of this flicking
So
it
when
on.
she says, "Let's put the telly on," you go, "Okay, Suzanne, what are we going to watch?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
And she goes, "Well, I don't know. Should we have a look what's on?"
I say, "Look what's on first."
But have you got a Radio Times or a TV?
Yeah, I've got a magazine that comes with a paper at the weekend.
Okay.
Look through that. If there's anything on your fancy, we'll look at it. If not, we don't need it on. Put the radio on.
Right.
And then she has a look and she'll go, "The Apprentice is on." I'll go, "Okay, you can have it on."
Right.
If she goes, "Oh, there's..." I can't remember a time when I've said, "No, you're not having that on."
You're quite patriarchal, aren't you, wouldn't you say?
What do you mean?
Well, the man of the house rules the roost.
Yeah, you pretty
Not
much lay the
really.
rules down, don't you?
No, because she still does what she wants, even though I'm saying you're clumping about again, making a racket. She does it more. But it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Sounds like it. And so you've had a lovely game of crib with Suzanne, because, the magic's still there. And what time do you hit the sack?
Don't know, about 11.
Do you go to bed at the same time?
Yeah. So that's it, yeah, that's
So,
the day, really.
well, hang on, we haven't finished yet. So, any conversation before bed?
Depends if the radio's on. I might say, "Look, here's that story about the worm."
Yeah.
And then she'll go, "Yeah, but look, it hasn't got teeth. It said this, that and the other." And I'll go, "Oh, yeah, forgot."
Good night.
That's the end of that.
Another day closer to death.
Well, that was a free podcast. I suppose we'd call that a day in the life of Carl Pilkington. That's a little thank you to all the fans who bought the audiobooks.
It's not much of a gift, is it?
Wow, it's something, isn't it? I mean, I know Carl did it begrudgingly, but thank you for downloading the audiobooks all these years. Carl's very grateful, really. It means he can go and buy as much grouting as he'll ever need. And thank you to people who've bought the book, An Idiot Abroad, and watched the programme. If you still can't get enough Carl, the DVD An Idiot Abroad is out. That's a lovely Christmas gift for all the family. Order that now at amazon.co.uk or Com or
Yeah,
HMV
or your retailer
or Play.
of choice. Your retailer
of choice. Or go out and buy it. Go out for
get
a
off your
walk.
arse and buy it.
Go out for a walk and buy An Idiot Abroad on DVD and the book. And what a lovely Christmas gift the Ricky Gervais Show would make as well on DVD.
Animated ramblings from the round-headed moron.
Some people don't even realise that The Idiot Abroad is Carl Pilkington from the Ricky Gervais Show. If you're on Twitter and Facebook and MySpace, or if you've got just friends you actually talk to via the mouth, then tell them if they enjoyed An Idiot Abroad to get the Ricky Gervais Show on audiobook or DVD. And while you're at it, buy my new stand-up on DVD, Science.
Well, I don't know, Rick. That seems a shameless plug.
Yeah. Well, what was all the other shit then?
Yeah, that was just talking to the fans.
That's
Whereas,
because you get a third of all the other stuff.
all right, let's not reduce it to money.
Carl's on it.
On what?
On the Science DVD. I've done a special programme where I interview him for Science, which is amazing. But my favourite bit is probably when he meets Warwick Davis. I stitched him right up. He thought he was going to have a talk about science. We hid Warwick, right?
Well, that's not hard, is it?
We had to keep him in a different room, and then Carl sat down, thought he was talking about science, and I went, got a little fella, and Warwick walks out, and your little face, and Warwick confronted him over some of the words he's used. Midget.
Yes, I remember the famous midget hippopotamus story.
Yeah.
I'm sure you used the word midget there far too many times.
Yeah. So there's a few things to buy at Christmas. Go out and buy one of our DVDs or books. This was free. Now pay for something. St. Francis of Assisi once said, "Where there is charity and wisdom, there is neither fear nor ignorance." Acts of human charity have been documented since the beginning of recorded history. Yet even now, in the most democratic and economically advanced nations, charity is still necessary. Does this mean that charitable acts are failing to effect meaningful change? Should charity even be the responsibility of individual citizens? Do handouts make people lazy and dependent instead of resourceful and responsible for their own livelihoods? Is it every man for himself, or are we all in this together? To discuss these questions and more, I'm joined by Stephen Merchant, award-winning writer and graduate of the University of Warwick.
Hello.
And Carl Pilkington. Gonk.
Right.
So, Red Nose Day, Comic Relief, has come round again.
Yeah, Red Nose Day is obviously the very specific date in the calendar for the whole generic term Comic Relief, I think.
It's normally when the telecast happens.
Yeah.
People know that that's the day when they can dress up, do charitable acts. But of course, Comic Relief is a charity that's working all the time for disenfranchised all over the world.
And you can go to the website all year round, which is comicrelief.com.
I think there's also rednoseday.com, which is if you particularly want to donate for this year's appeal. Have you always been a strong champion of Comic Relief, Carl?
Not really.
Why was I expecting that answer?
Well, but I mean, we're doing a bit of charity now. We're donating our time. It's not much. It's not costing us anything.
But I do loads of stuff without going on about it. I don't think you should shout about the bitch you do for charity, because then who are you doing it for?
Oh, exactly. I mean, well, this is my thing, isn't it? That there's a lot of people that only do it if it's in the public eye. It's to do it really to be a busybody or to show off or to feel good about themselves. And I suppose that's good and bad. I mean, if it gets you involved, if it does some good. My gift to the world has been you, Carl, to be quite honest. I feel that you're the world now.
I'm sure there's people in Africa going, we prefer blankets.
Yeah.
Doing a wills charity, isn't it?
Is it?
Sort of.
I mean,
No, it is.
if you make a donation to a charity within the will, I suppose that's quite charitable. But
Do you
just
mean-
giving money to your relatives isn't, is it?
Of course it is.
Well,
They
it
shouldn't
is.
have it.
They're
They
getting
shouldn't-
something for nothing, but it's... I don't know. It's giving something away that you have no use for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
mean,
but forget that. It's someone is getting something,
Yeah.
and they've done nothing for it, really.
Well, it is. I suppose it is charity, but charity is usually infused with some sort of altruism. It's usually to do with giving a piece of something that is kindly because you could do with it. I mean, not strictly. I think you can give away something you don't need, but it's hardly donating a kidney, is it, or some of your wages? It's like it's not charity on your part because you're literally not around anymore. So it's no longer you giving it. It's just some
Yeah, but
money
I could
that
either
there
give
was.
it them or not give it them. Once I'm dead and they've turned to mush, I shouldn't be worrying about Suzanne's mum getting a table.
Is that what
you
you're
know-
leaving her?
Well, I called up my dad first.
Why are you
and said,
doing a will for the
because
show?
of this travel thing that
Right,
I'm
yeah.
doing, and it can get dangerous, you know.
But why haven't you done a will up to now?
Because you sort of, I don't know, I felt sort of young and free. Whereas now I'm...
That's never two words I've associated with Carl. He's always seemed like a man who's in his late 50s.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
I've certainly
yeah.
never the idea that you're free.
Even if we're just talking about the head alone, it's the head of a late 50-year-old.
Free of hair?
Yeah, totally free of fucking hair.
I'm sort of getting on first name terms with my doctor.
Oh, really?
Chatting more. Oh, what is it this time?
How's your middle finger?
You
Not
know.
too bad, Carl.
All that sort of thing. So it's just made me think.
Have you had that done for the will, by the way, for insurance
I
and
think you
stuff?
need to, don't you, for a will?
I think you do.
There's nothing on the
Prostate
paper.
exam.
No.
No, listen, for insurance purposes, I think you need to have a testicular exam for testicular cancer. You're just leaving the high risk for testicular cancer, actually, and you're entering the high risk for prostate cancer.
And you can have both at the same time.
You could have both
the
at the same
examination
time,
at the same time.
if he's a very dexterous doctor.
I wouldn't want that.
Why? Too much like...
It's just too
Too
much
playful.
going on. It's like someone juggling you.
Yeah, it's like being examined by Squiddly Diddly.
And so you said you called up your dad.
Called him up. I said, "Is there anything you want if I die?"
Right. And presumably, you know, Suzanne, she's getting the lion's share.
She is, but then the fellow who was on the end of the phone talking us through it all was going, "Oh, you should get married." I was going, "Oh, shut up." He's saying, "Well, it make things a lot easier when it comes to this," and it's like, "Well, that isn't a reason to get married, is it?"
Well,
so she can have all my stuff. I said, "I've wrote on the bit of paper that she can have it. I'm not bothered."
What did you wrote? What did you wrote?
You know, that whatever we've got, she can have.
Yeah, right. That's fine. That's as good as a marriage then, isn't
But
it?
it's something about tax. If you're not married, you have to hand over more.
Well, she'll get... I suppose if it's money, she'll pay tax on it.
Yeah, I think you get so much, and then it's like ridiculous tax rate.
yep.
But she's going, "That's why we should get married. I'm going to be paying tax." I'm going, "Hang on a minute." She's already like thinking about money loss instead of me disappearing.
Yeah.
She's going, "Yeah, we should." I said, "Look, you'll be getting a load of money." I said, "If I die on this programme anyway, I'm insured. You'll be getting about £1 million for that."
Yeah.
I said, "So that's something you haven't got now.
Yeah.
Not nowhere near that now." I said, "So even if you have to pay tax on that,
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be right to get married just in case I get killed."
Well, you are married, aren't you? With it?
Well, then
as
you may
good
as well
as.
get the paperwork.
No, because then everyone wants a party. Everyone's
have to
going,
have a
"Oh,
party, you can go
you
straight
do,
down to the registry office."
honestly, people start going, "Oh, you should do this," and "Oh, it's not a proper wedding unless you do that."
Have your two sets of parents met?
No.
That'd be good, would it?
Well, I suppose it's a reason to, isn't it? At least if you're getting married, there's a reason for them to meet. At the moment, there's no reason for them to meet. They'd get on each other's nerves. My dad wouldn't get on with a man.
Right.
Just wouldn't. She doesn't like me, so she won't like me dad. Because he's just an exaggerated version. So I think it doesn't need to happen.
But you could just nip down the registry office, get it done and dusted, and you just phone up your folks and say, "It's already happened, it's
I
too
said
late."
that. I said, "Listen, if we had to do it," I said, if it was like we'd got to do it for some reason, I said, "I'd do that. We can have it done by 2, you can be back in work for 3. Because at the end of the day, there's no, we've known each other for years.
Yeah.
We're not going to suddenly turn into some sort of Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan film just because we've got married.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same, exactly the same.
Yeah.
Except she'd want a joint bank account or something. That's the only other thing that would probably change, and I don't like the idea of that.
Why?
Just, I like to know what's going on. There's enough people sticking their hand in my account.
Who happens to be the love of your life?
I'm not moaning about it, I'm just saying it works the way it is. You hear about people getting married and it doesn't last. Adds extra pressure.
What pressure is it going to add? It's not going to add any pressure.
I suppose that you resent the fact that the only reason you would be getting married is because she gets your money after your death tax-free.
What if you gave her a series of challenges so that she sort of
I
earned
think
the right to have that money?
It just keeps her on her toes. Because whilst we're not married, it's easy to go, "I'm sick of this." So it keeps it
keeps
sort
her
of,
on her toes.
It keeps us both sort
Because
of doing
you're
stuff.
such a find, she's got to
Yeah.
work hard to keep you, hasn't she?
You never do anything in order to sort of maintain this relationship, as far as I can tell. I'm not saying you're a bad wife, but in terms of romantic Meg Ryan type stuff,
Right.
you never do anything.
Me and Jane were out with them and Suzanne the other night, right, at dinner, and honestly, he is so grumpy. He was saying about for Christmas, right? He said, "You've had a flaw." You've had a flaw. Now, what did that mean?
We had a new floor put in
But how is that her flaw?
because she wanted it.
But you walk on it too.
I paid for it. I don't understand what
But
you
don't
mean.
you understand that, like, a romantic break or clothes or perfumes, sort of things that are kind of indulgent for a lady? That's a gift, not a new floor.
That is like something you give to some little African fella on Comic Relief. In fact, I think I saw it once. He didn't have a floor.
Exactly.
They built him a floor. I remember watching it with you, and they gave him a new pair of shoes and the floor. He went, "Hold on, floor or shoes, not both." Oh, when that tsunami hit, and it was like a month after Christmas, they showed that Britain had given £2 billion, right? He was going, "That's enough." He said, before they were living in mud huts, now there's an Arndale Centre. So you think charity is all right as long as people don't get above their station with charity?
I think it should be there as a little booster. Something's happened that they didn't expect. They're all a bit in shock. I don't think they'll feel bad because all they ever seem to do, these countries that are struggling, they never give anything back.
Right.
They've always got their hand out.
Right.
And it's been like that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember being a kid, people knocking on the door, my mum going, "Don't look at the door, there's someone there." And we'd just pretend they weren't
Charity's
there.